Good evening, one and all. I, Dr. Sandeep Raut, Incubation Manager at IISER Pune SEED Foundation, welcome you all for the very exciting launch event of Student Entrepreneurship in Residence program called AIC StEP. AIC StEP is a very promising program to shortlist, to nurture, and to facilitate student-driven innovation ideas from the campus. And today is a proud day both for AIC SEED as well as for IISER Pune that the first cohort of StEP fellows will be shortlisted by the eminent panel of juries. To know more about this program, may I now request Ms. Shweta Uttam, the Chief Executive Officer of AIC SEED, to come on stage to present the concept note of AIC StEP and to formally introduce the honorable judges of today's event. Ms. Shweta Uttam.
Distinguished jury members, esteemed guests from the industry, academia, incubators, board of directors AIC SEED, entrepreneurs and incubatees of AIC SEED, friends from the IISER Pune family, staff, faculty and my dear students. A very good evening to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome members of this august gathering on the occasion of launch of Idea Pitch event of AIC SEED Student Entrepreneur Residency Program called AIC SEED StEP for short. Let me take you back in time. Way back in 2018, IISER Pune took its first step towards entrepreneurship when they incorporated AIC SEED, a technology business incubator, under the support of Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog. And today it gives me immense pride and pleasure that AIC SEED is taking its first step to welcome on board student entrepreneurs from IISER Pune in the first cohort. Let us give a big round of applause to our young students as they take the first step on their entrepreneurial journey. Entrepreneurship, as we all know, is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It requires guts and daring. There are some entrepreneurs who are born with inherent qualities, but there are many skills and qualities which can be acquired through education and experience. And this was the principle on which the AIC SEED StEP program was based on. I would like to now take you through some of the salient features of this program. Before we begin at the outset, let me express our sincere gratitude to the sponsors of this program, Messrs. Expanded Polymer Systems and AJ Patel Charitable Trust, without whose gracious support this program would have not taken place. AIC SEED StEP program is the first flagship program of AIC SEED. It is aimed in the first cohort. We are aiming to encourage student entrepreneurs from IISER Pune. Subsequently, we have plans to open this cohort to other students from across Pune, across IISERs, Pan-India, and maybe one day make a mark at the global level. Taking inspiration from IISER Pune, which has a unique style of imparting education through a blend of education, academic education and research, we will provide education in entrepreneurship through an immersive entrepreneurial experience to the students. They will get actual feel of running their companies are based on their ideas to experiment and explore. The program is initially for 6 months, extendable. Selected students will be given a fellowship grant as well as a modest pre-seed funding amount. Students, of course, this will come with its own checks and balances. This is all part of the learning experience. So when we launched this program, launched in the sense invited entries, we didn't expect that we will receive such an enthusiastic response. Applications from students as young as first year BSMS students to PhD scholars. We cut open domains and did not restrict their creativity to any specific domain. We were enthused by the quality of applications. It was tough to shortlist 20 among them. Next, please. So now, as part of this program, selected students will be designated as AIC SEED StEP Fellows of IISER Pune, will run many companies. They will actually experience all the joys, agony and ecstasy of running a company and be founders. They are very familiar with the world of interdisciplinary science, but real world intersects with the world of commerce, business, market, economics, and all of these things we will provide through mentorship, resources, but most important, experiences. Next, please. So this is what they will get, the selected AIC SEED StEP Fellows and even other participants. Other participants may not win the prize money or fellowship grant, but the learning will be, of course, imparted to them as well. Besides, they will also get incubation soft support at AIC SEED, and they will get opportunity to develop their idea further, and at the end of 6 months, they will do actual pitches with actual investors. It was very tough for us to select and shortlist the applications from the ones that we had received. Over the last 1 month, the team at AIC SEED has seen clearly how the ideas have evolved and refined, business models pivoted, and we were really very excited to see the promising ideas. I assure you that our future is going to be in safe hands once you listen to these pitches. It was, as I mentioned, since it was very difficult for us, luckily we are fortunate that we have an eminent panel of jury members who will help us in the selection process and select the ones with the best business potential who can be onboarded as AIC SEED StEP Fellows. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the members of the jury. Let me introduce the jury members. Jury members, thank you for taking time from your busy corporate schedule, juggling responsibilities, and coming here. Apart from this event, we also look forward to leveraging your insights and experience to mentor our student entrepreneurs. May I introduce the jury members? Dr. Mahesh Murthy. He is the Chief Technology Officer and Head of Research, Technology and Innovation Center at Thermax Limited, where he supports the development of next generation sustainable solutions for energy and the environment. Thermax is a very reputed company in this area. I can say so because I am an ex-Thermaxian myself. Previously, Dr. Murthy was a member of the Group Technology and Innovation Office of Tata Sons for 5+ years, facilitating cross-company collaboration in the energy domain. Besides, he is also backed by 15+ years in varying roles at global companies in the energy sector. Mr. Parthasarthi Patnaik. Partha is a senior banking professional turned technology evangelist, seeking to marry old world banking with new age digital advances to bring about a steep change in financial inclusion in India. Strongly motivated to play a decisive role in nurturing innovative, scalable, technology-enabled solutions, especially in the fintech domain. He has previously held leadership roles across the spectrum of corporate and investment banking in ABN AMRO and RBS. More recently, he has been keenly involved in the nascent startup ecosystem in India by launching a sector-agnostic VC fund. Dr. Rajesh Kumar Singh will be joining us any moment. He's Associate Director at Genova Biopharmaceuticals and has over 3 decades of rich research experience spanning across different domains of biotechnology. Mr. Shrikant Sarda is Managing Director, Accenture Technologies. More than 26 years of experience with exemplary record in delivering results, leveraging innovation, automation, and new age technology. Expertise in incubating new ideas, transforming business processes, rationalizing IT landscape, and building sustainable innovation culture across large teams. He has particular experience in mentoring startups and helping them to develop sustainable and scalable business. Once again, let us welcome our jury members with a large round of applause. Sandeep.
Thank you, Shweta. Thanks for introducing to the STEP program as well as to the jury members. May I now request the Board of Directors AIC IISER Pune SEED Foundation to please come on stage. Professor Jayant Udgaonkar, Chairperson AIC SEED, Dr. S. Shivaram, and Professor Nirmalya Vallabh. Dear all, please join me in inviting the honorable juries of today's event on the dais. I request Dr. Mahesh Murthy to please come on stage. Mr. Shrikant Sarda, please come on stage. Mr. Parth Sathi Patnaik. Let's give a big round of applause for all the dignitaries. Thank you. May I now request all the judges to be seated on the judges' chairs on the left side. And I request Professor Jayant Udgaonkar for the inaugural address and to formally launch today's event.
Let me begin by welcoming all the student participants in this, and of course all the jury members. It's really great that there are so many students who want to get into entrepreneurial activities in the future. And the type of education which we impart at IISER Pune is an education which we hope encourages students to think and learn on their own. And that's really a prerequisite for doing anything innovative. To be able to think on your own, to be able to challenge existing ideas, and to be able to learn new things on your own. And it's great that 37 teams applied for this, and I think 20 have been shortlisted. And I think that's a tribute to the type of education imparted to students at IISER by the faculty members. So we could begin by a round of applause for the faculty members. And I think it's great that there's so much real enthusiasm for being engaged in entrepreneurial activities. As an institute, we need to be doing much more to encourage students to get into careers other than basic research in the future. The emphasis in IISER for many years has been students go ahead to do their PhD. But there are so many other activities that students can engage in these days. And it's important that they engage in all possible activities. Choose an activity for which they're best suited. Many of us are not suited for academic activities. Many of us are not suited for doing research in an academic setting. And we have to realize where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, and be able to proceed on a career choice based on a recognition of our own abilities. So I wish you all the best. I'm sure in the future many of you will do very well, become rich and famous. At that time, I request that you remember IISER Pune. Thank you. So I believe I have to announce this event formally open, so I do so. Maybe the jury is already seated, and we could begin the event.
Thank you, Professor Udgaonkar. And now it's the time. We were all waiting for the speech competition, and we are almost to start this competition. But before that, this is the final reminder of the simple rules of the game for the participants. Dear friends, you will be evaluated based on 5 criteria: the problem statement, the feasibility of the solution that you propose, the novelty and scalability of the solution, the clarity of milestones and achievable goals, and lastly, the presentation skill and response to the jury's questions. In addition to these 50 marks, 10 marks each, you will have the internal score of 10 marks divided into 2 categories. One, to follow the timeline. You have to strictly follow the 2 minutes timeline. So when the pitch starts, the spotlight condition will be like this. And at the completion of 2 minutes, you will get the warning indication like the brighter lights. Did it work? Yeah. This is a fine change in brightness, but you have to keep it in mind. And if you exceed 5 or 10 seconds more, you will get a hard stop by the coordinator, and it may lead to the negative scoring. Additionally, while addressing the questions raised by juries, be sure that you keep your responses crisp and short so that you can face maximum questions, which will enhance your chances of scoring more in the Q&A section. During presentation, only one of the members will present, but in Q&A, the other members can be free to chip in. Just make sure that 2 people are not talking simultaneously. Last, best wishes from AIC SEED team. And now to start today's pitching competition, I'll request Ms. Vidisha Hote, Luminaire and Innovation Leader at AIC SEED, to conduct and coordinate today's pitching competition. Vidisha.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to extend you a warm welcome on behalf of the entire AIC IISER Pune team, as we are about to begin today's event for Student, Entrepreneur and Residence Program. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Keeping this in mind, all our participating teams have begun their entrepreneurial journey with immense hard work and passion. And today is the evening where we celebrate, acknowledge and reward their efforts. The world is full of diamonds and gems, and we have some of them with us today. So without any further ado, I declare the StEP competition has now commenced. Please give a round of applause while I invite the first participant to the event. The first pitch is brought to you by Team Sporty Nut. They are here with their modern day solution to tackle the shortcomings of sports nutrition. I request Team Sporty Nut to please come on the stage.
I, Pranav Dhingra from the team Sporty Nuts, targets one of the biggest problems, which is the lack of affordable, quality and personalized sports nutrition for everyone at global scale. We come up with great solution to create such an application in which the most important innovation is using the artificial intelligence and biological principles to provide customers with best personalized sports nutrition in all the permutations. Our ask is for ₹20 lakh. For developing the application and website, hiring professional sports nutritionists and technological people, developing contracts and agreements with all sports and nutrition related organizations, and developing the most innovative marketing, advertising and the sales strategies. Our business roadmap is targeted with application and website development in August, then the hiring and tie-up process in October, then the completion and the beta testing in December. And finally we launch the market in January. The business model that includes both B2 and B2C and B2B models. All personalized sports nutrition products and services will be offered, and then our customers are all the individual sports enthusiasts and organizations such as colleges, schools, etc. And also we will earn by paid subscription based plans, ads, tie-ups with organizations and all other revenue models. And then the sports nutrition market size is big, with present market over $44 billion and expected to reach over $85 billion in 2020, and the sports industry also being over $300 billion. Why deserve to win? That's simple. Solving a global problem, having a strong background in physiology, and also very few significant competitors which also lack our innovation of true personalization by using AI. Thank you.
The floor is now open for Q&A.
Thanks for your speech. One question that I have is how is different your product or service from the current nutrition product that are available in the market?
So sir, currently there are generalized nutritional plans and like products and services are is personalized to that particular person because every human body is unique in itself. So it will be completely personalized, and also in that there are like very few significant competitors, and they are also lacking this personalization. So in innovative way which we will be providing. Thank you.
How you are going to personalize this?
By developing a AI also for like the subscription based plans, and for like hire for maybe if any professional sports person has to take, then we will be providing with that person's particular like interview and many other things through which he will be a successful sports person.
Thank you again for your pitch. Just need some clarity on the innovation or the novelty. I understand the service, I understand the subscription, I understand personalized is the objective, but what is not clear to me is what is it that you're offering in maybe simple terms.
Yeah, so in simple terms, like the first starting step, that the first step could be the subscription plan, like for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, depending on the customer requirement. And that will be like personalized with the artificial intelligence which will be developed, which will be taking the data of the age, gender, body, sports, and many other also step by step.
So you collect all.
So excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but the 1 minute of Q&A session is done. Thank you, Team Sporty for your presentation. We now move on to our next team, traffic. One word that has been an inseparable part of individuals working on metropolitans like Mumbai and Pune. I now present to you Team Egness, who are here to provide an aid for emergency vehicles stuck in traffic using smart infrastructure. Please give a round of applause for Team Egness.
Good evening, respected jury members and everyone. Have you ever wondered how many lives could have been saved if the traffic lights could have been smarter? The traffic lights that were aimed to ease the pain of the public are not the reason for the loss of lives. According to the nation's report, 1 out of every 5 emergency deaths are caused due to the emergency vehicles struck at traffic lights. Imagine how many houses could be saved from burning if fire vehicles could reach more swiftly. Team M Next is here to tackle this issue, and we present to you our advanced technology based PETM. Now PETM is based on LORA and LORA WAN, which is LORA WAN stands for Long Range Radio Waves Wide Area Network. Now it allows for the effective communication between the transmitter that shall be fitted on the emergency vehicle and the microcontroller receiver that shall be fitted on the traffic lights to communicate even at a distance of 1 to 2 km. And remember, this communication will be secure. The transmission of the signals will be secure. So the advantage will be that the drivers will be able to send the signals in advance about its arrival at a particular traffic intersection, thereby making the microcontroller change the signal to green so that the remaining vehicles in that path could pass out easily, allowing for the quick exit for the emergency vehicle without having to stop for the red signal. We carried out a preliminary survey to find out the functioning of product and found 86% of the people were acceptable and interested in the functioning of product in the public domain. Our ask currently stands at 15 lakh rupees with 60% going into the product development. We plan to be B2B based with our primary consumers being government entities and private hospital networks. Currently there's no one manufacturing this product in India, though there's a US based 3M and M-Track systems having similar products, but they are priced up to 8,000% more than what we even plan to sell at. Also, they are using what we call boomer tech because they are mainly IR based transmitters, which has issues with long range transmission as well as with secure communication compared to ours. Also, we have held a successful round of talk with the Mayor and Commissioner of Bareilly regarding the prototype testing in the city, and they even plan to incorporate it in their traffic lights. We hope you will join in our journey to save lives and help us develop a smarter traffic ecosystem.
For Q&A.
Yes, so thanks for this very innovative idea. Wanted to understand from you what is the application here and who is the customer that you're looking at? If you're looking at a government customer,
yeah,
what is the business proposition here?
Yeah, so the application is that nowadays what happens when emergency vehicles comes at traffic light, they don't get the priority they will have to have a swift exit. Even they have to stop if there's a red signal because there are vehicles in front of it. So what we change that the signals will change to green. As soon as the drivers, even at a distance of 1 to 2 kilometers, will send the signal. So when the signal will change to green, the remaining vehicles that had to stop because of red light will move on its own. So the road will be clear for the emergency vehicle and it will have a swift exit. Now the government the business model is that we will be selling this idea to the government as well as hospital networks. Hospital networks will have the saving of time, and the government will be basically because they will have the goodwill of the public and will also be able to bring down the costs in developing the what we call this road safety technologies, because this will act as one of the major road safety technology. And also we must remember that one of the largest life insurance provider company is LIC, which is government owned. And if they won't have to give the insurance for the deceased one, sorry to say, they will save a lot.
Okay, thanks.
So good evening. It was a nice proposal, and as you said, like in US, I mean, there was quite many of times I've seen the program on National Geographic that they have shown this. And one of the reasons that it could implement is, of course, the cost that you have said. And second, like, in like system like US and elsewhere in Europe, I mean, they have the emergency lines and vehicles that where these vehicles can move.
Yeah.
That's an issue with us too. Have you
Yeah.
thought about it?
So we'll be changing the entire red signal into green. So it will allow all the vehicles to pass through. So emergency vehicle will have the clear route for it until it arrives at the traffic junction.
Excuse me, the time for the Q&A session is up. Thank you, team. I'm next. Moving on to the next participant. Imagine if monitoring blood glucose levels would be as easy as wearing a watch. Sounds absurd, right? Behold, as I invite our next presenters, Survar. Can we please have a round of applause for Survar?
So first of all, a little story about the idea. I was fortunately born in a joint family, but then unfortunately I was born in a joint family of diabetics. So I have watched my grandfather, 3 of my uncles, and my father administer insulin through an injection almost every day. But then there's something used to happen which I label as insulin shock, where they used to shiver a lot and then had to take glucose and fruits to bring them back to normal and then profusely sweat. So I looked it up. It was because of continuous glucose monitoring and how everybody's physiology responds different to different food. So what I've done is, we will take a smartwatch and we will integrate a microneedle patch onto it, which will have a fluorophore. Do not worry, the fluorophore wouldn't kill you, it will just be excreted by the body. And then by spectroscopic techniques, we will continuously monitor the glucose, and then it will be artificially, by the help of artificial intelligence, it will be displayed on the screen. And then through the help of, again, artificial intelligence, we will help you cater your food, and then what time should you take your insulin, and then what time you should exercise, also the sleep. This will improve the lifestyle substantially. So the basic demand is this. All we need is the money for the prototype and then some clinical testings and all. And what is the target? Who are we going to sell? So there are about 400 million patients globally, 700 million patients it is going to grow by 2025. And then there is no such revolutionary product which will change the lifestyle to such an extent. And there is only one competitor in the market, which is a bot. But then the device is not as cheap as ours will be. And then it is also not as portable as ours is going to be. So help us launch this product and prepare the prototype with just 15 lakhs and, as scientifically proven, a 40% more life for all of the people who are going to use it.
The floor is now open for Q&A session.
In a way, when I want to ask, like one of the big issue with such devices is the calibration over the time.
Yes.
How are you going to ensure that calibration stays? Because if there is a misread, it's going to be at different issues.
Yes,
and
so
second, like smartwatches today, as is there, I mean, it measures BP, everything, but it's a bit far off than actual what it says. So how you ensure that the reads that you see here actually correlates with what is inside? Idea is really fine, but it has a consequence because insulin doses are important.
yes, so we are not going for closed loop drug delivery here. So our smartwatch is not going to administer insulin. It is going to only show the blood glucose level, and the calibration will be relative, and the relativity of the calibration will be decided based on the inputs that you get. So for the initial 1 month, it will not be a sort of exactly the same as the concentration of blood glucose is in the blood, but then through artificial intelligence and then feedback.
So do you have some model already built in when you talk about artificial intelligence?
Yeah, there are models
for yourself, because it will be your data. It should be yours.
Yeah, so we haven't developed it right now, but then there are models in the literature available. In the scientific literature, it's out there. So mathematical modeling can be done to get the data.
Can you help me understand the microneedle patch? Is it an existing product that you are just using to provide the data? Is the watch just collecting the data? I'm just trying to understand the patch.
Yes, so the microneedle patch actually will be manufactured by us, either using 3D printing, which is although slightly costly, we can reduce the prices to feasible levels. Also, there are microneedle patch so we'll have to experiment with it to design the prototype so that the fluorophore that will be released into the blood, it does not get released like instantly. So it lasts at least up to 90 days, which is presently what Abbott does. So it will be so the microneedle patch will be manufactured that way. Mostly it is going to be PVA based. That is the only one which has like.
Have you looked into Abbott and understand if they have patents that prevent you from doing what they're doing? Have you looked into that?
Yes, so Abbott, what they're doing is basically, so first of all, that is not portable at all. And then the second thing is that it is really costly. So they have 14 patches, which you have to take out and then like put it onto your arm. So it is not portable first of all.
With your time is up. Thank you, Julies, for the comments. Thank you, Team Survar. So I would now like to invite Team Pushmo on stage. Team Pushmo is here with their revolutionary advancement in the domain of green energy. Please have a round of applause for Team Pushmo.
Hi, I am Gokul from Wood. So global warming and climate change ensured by the burning of fossil fuels have been deemed as a threat that will wipe out our very existence. Realizing this problem at hand, government and private organizations all over the world are moving towards renewables. Among renewables, solar photovoltaics has been a strong contender. However, the long-term energy storage and 24-hour energy supply using solar photovoltaics is still a challenge because of the cost it takes to store electricity. So rather than storing electricity, if you store it in terms of heat, the energy storage can be much cheaper. With this idea, we thought of an innovative way to store and concentrate solar heat. Now, our idea involves a use of Fresnel lens and a series of mirrors which will concentrate these solar rays into an intense parallel beam, and we have the freedom of setting this parallel beam anywhere we want. And using an array of such units, we can send the collected energy from a large area into an insulated chamber where we will melt a phase change material to store the heat energy. With this plan in mind, we have already set a roadmap for ourselves and have achieved key milestones. We have already filed for a patent, we have incorporated a company and are right now incubated at AIC SEED. Now we have designed a CAD model and our future milestones are shown here. We expect to hit the market by 2024. Some of the international players have realized the potential of solar concentrated and heat storage and are already trying to achieve their goals. So the Indian market is still new to them. They haven't entered the Indian market yet. And in India, it is having a CAGR for solar energy in the in year 2021 to 2026 of 35.24%. And we asked for around 50 lakhs to fasten our milestones and make our mark in the market. So please visit us as Microtech and thank you.
Floor is now open for Q&A.
Thanks for your presentation. Nice idea. Can you please share what is the storage, the energy storage duration for your product?
It depends on the insulation. So we haven't practically made it, but if the insulation is good, it can be for a very long time.
Then the analysis, how many days, hours it can store? and what is the loss as the time passes?
It also depends on the maximum temperature, and without practically doing it, we really can't put an estimate. But hopefully, we'll be able to get few weeks or even months.
So here there are some already available competitors. They already made it, and solar energy, sorry, heat energy can be stored for very long time, even for few months, and the rate by which you can achieve efficiency is around 90% and more than that after 6 months. So salt and other material, phase change material are used for that.
Yeah, so 2 questions. How portable would this device be? Number one. And second is, from an innovation standpoint, how replicable will it be?
So it's not a portable unit because you need to collect the area means from a larger area and focus it on. So it will be like in a place. And so what was the second question? Sorry.
What about replicability? Can someone else also build this?
Right
How
now
unique is
we
this?
have patented the fact. So two key ingredients. One is using of Fresnel lens, which we believe we can produce cheaply, and that is what's gonna use the collection for collection. So we try to patent that idea. So hopefully none will.
One more thing to add, there is one company here, they already achieved it, but the temperature they are generating is only 2 to 300 degrees Celsius, while we are going to achieve more than around 100, what we expected, around 1000 degrees Celsius, because with a single Fresnel lens you can reach to that temperature.
So we can concentrate and send the
Team Ush.
Sorry.
Are we restricted to solar energy or
Solar energy?
It is for electricity, and especially for night electricity, because storing electricity is quite costly. So we are going to replace, there is no solution right now available in the market. There is no solution for electricity for the night from renewable resources.
Team Ush, may your 2 minutes for the Q&A session. Thank you, judges, for your comments. Thank you. Malaria. Multiple lives are lost to this disease just because of lack of proper diagnostic measures. Up next, we have Team Cure and Biotech, who are here with their solutions to tackle the shortcomings in malarial diagnostics. Please have a round of applause for Team Cure and Biotech.
Good evening to you all. Today, I, Animesh Anand, is here to present on aptema-mediated diagnosis for malaria. Malaria is currently the fifth most deadliest disease in the world, with 229 million cases and 4 lakh deaths on average per year. 77% of the cases are from South Asian countries like India, which also face a huge economic burden. Emergence of new variants have led to escaping of them from the current detection methods, and that's why this disease is still incurable. Our solution is we intend to make a rapid diagnosis test kit which will be stable, will not require any expert to conduct the test, will be sensitive, specific, and above all, it will be cost effective. Our novelty lies in aptamer-based detection and the choice of target protein selected. Aptamers are short single-stranded DNA molecules which bind to their target proteins with high specificity and efficacy. The detection will be a correct change-based detection after the aptamer binds with the target protein, parasitic protein. Slide change, please. Yeah. So we intend to give a accurate, specific, and cost-effective alternative to the pre-existing solutions in the market. The current diagnosis rate lies from around rupees 25 to a few hundred rupees, and we intend to shorten it to rupees 10 per test, thus making it accessible to a large section of society. Current Indian diagnostic market lies around $20 million and is expected to grow by 5.4% by the end of 2026. We intend to be a business-to-government company, and our primary customers will be government healthcare centers and non-government organizations and not-for-profit organizations. And our secondary customers will be hospitals, pet labs, etc. Our ask is for rupees 20 lakhs, and the current prize money amount will be spent for some gene constructs, molecular biology reagents, and some lab equipments. Currently, we are in the middle of designing of novel aptamers, and by the end of 6 months, we will be able to finish up with the optimal detection methods.
Q&A Biotech, your time is. Floor is now open for Q&A.
nice attempt. I was wondering, like, in a way, so this technology proof of concept is with you.
Yeah.
So,
So this technology is actually the new in market, and I have never tried it before by any of the competitors.
so that's what I'm saying. So proof of concept is with you.
Yeah.
So in that, why malaria? Why not the kind of current epidemic that we are looking at? That could have been just curiosity, because really such tests are important, which is fast and rapid.
Sir, regarding COVID and all, the COVID came recently, and the diagnosis which was going on, it was for the proteins. And first of all, this thing is actually mainly aptamer mediated. So the proteins which were discovered are already, I mean, the detection methods are already there for COVID-19 virus, but for malaria, we here are justifying the problem that the emergence of new variants are escaping the previous detection methods.
Right.
That's why malaria is still causing hazards despite the.
What is the source of your sequence of aptamer?
What's
Source of sequence for aptamer?
so, and they are sequenced from the random cDNA libraries, and by the help of selects, they are selected by after 17 cycles, and on the basis of binding score.
Okay, so what you're actually targeting, like what kind of protein for
The target proteins are conserved in the parasitic variants Plasmodium, and on the basis of aptamers can distinguish between various proteins of various species.
Okay, great, thanks.
Success rate for getting the positive or negative test?
So actually we haven't designed the prototype yet, but viewing the current scenario, since the protein, the previous parasitic.
Thank you, Team Curran.
Just 1 minute. The parasitic proteins are already escaping the current solution. That's why, the current antibodies method. That's why we are trying to address to aptamer-related diagnosis. Thank you.
Thank you, judges, for the comments. Next in the line, we have Team Healers. Team Healers are here to present to you a modern-day solution to shortcomings in healthcare industry.
Pranav from Healers concerning about cardiovascular diseases is 9% Indians were diagnosed with CVD in 2020, which is about 17% of total global patients. And the reasons are high cholesterol, diabetes, and hypertension, with cholesterol being the biggest factor. But an eye-opener fact was that 75% deaths due to CVDs occurred due to irregular checking and late diagnosis. So we realized that urgent solution is better diagnosis availability and regular monitoring than better hospital facility. So we imagine, why can't we have a product that is portable, easily accessible to all, non-invasive, is cheap, and something that allow you to do your test yourself. Unfortunately, we actually have such a product using electric pulse measurements, spectrophotometry, and near visible range UV. We also added some innovation, and that is to use your smartphone processors for data analysis using artificial intelligence to keep record of all the reports and also provide instant doctor consultation at time. But is it even a working plan? In fact, it is. You can see the exponential growth in the diagnosis sector, and we can actually generate revenue through sales of testing device, app, selling data for research, charges for doctor consultation, and some commission from private hospitals for recommending their services. For say, a target market would be patients, healthcare professionals, this young generation's health freaks, and government of India for public use. Moreover, established labs are very costly, and the similar devices producing companies don't target cholesterol and other tests, giving us a clear edge. So what we ask is for about 10 lakh rupees for hiring and for a future roadmap of research experiments, prototype designing, and filing patent. So why we deserve to win? Because we are creating first cholesterol testing device in India that is going to revolutionize the biotech sector and increase India's rank in World Health Security Index. So finally, Healers are offering you one device plus your own smartphone for 4 tests plus consultation for the aim of Swasth Bharat. Thanks.
Thank you, Team Healers. We're now open for Q&A.
So I think it's a neat idea, but I'd like to understand it a little better. Can you explain a little bit more what the innovation is? Are you? I mean, I understand you want to have quick diagnostics, but explain a little bit more.
Yeah, so if innovation is concerned, so what we are thinking of is that, so you have seen BP machines or glucometer, so you already have extra glasses there, embedded processors extra. So what we are trying to use it, the machine will take data from your body and the data would be transferred to your mobile phone, and your processor, phone's processor would be used to analyze data and generate reports. In phone we can also have AI component so that each member of your family can have an health account, and in those health accounts the complete reports data could be stored and advices could be provided to you at times. So it's not just the diagnosis, but to keep track of your health with time and providing you a consultation whenever required.
So the one has to buy the machine?
Yes.
Okay.
So no, actually machine is for diagnosis. You will surely require doctors. And we are actually providing doctor consultation for if, let's say, reports are out of certain abnormal, reports were fine and then they become abnormal. We are also providing doctor consultation in those cases. And if the case is serious, we also can collaborate with hospitals for providing them direct suggestions. What is your nearest hospital?
Just one additional question on what Mahesh asked
Yes.
is about this device. Is this your own device or is available in commercially available device that you are going to use?
It's our basically own device because there is such techniques, but we can't use it because there is a less efficiency. I am working on the finite algorithm to get the more efficiency in using the few algorithms. So that's
Just a suggestion, also look at the regulatory pathway and processes for app and the device that may help you in time to come.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, team leaders. In today's world, EdTech plays a very important role in making education accessible to students from all sectors in the society. I now present to you Team Vidyarani, who are here with an eco-friendly solution to increase the accessibility of knowledge.
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन, माय नेम इज़ वसीद शर्मा और मैं आया हूँ विद्यारानी से। सर, मान लीजिए कि आपके बेटे ने अभी 12th के एग्जाम दिए हैं और उसे अपनी बैचलर डिग्री के लिए कुछ नई किताबों की ज़रूरत है, परंतु उन पुरानी 12th की किताबों का क्या वह उन्हें कहीं ऐसे ही फेंक देगा? क्या आपको पता है कि हर साल करोड़ों ही पेज किताब बनाने के लिए काट दिए जाते हैं और केवल 20% पेपर वेस्ट ही कलेक्ट होता है? तो कैसा होगा अगर हम उन किताबों को किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति तक पहुंचा पाएं जिसे उनकी ज़रूरत है? तो इसी सोच के साथ जन्म हुआ विद्यारानी का, एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म जहां आप अपनी पुरानी किताबें बेच सकते हैं, खरीद सकते हैं, उधार पर भी ले सकते हैं, और इसी के साथ ही बुक डोनेट करने से मिले पॉइंट से आप अन्य किताबें भी खरीद सकते हैं। कोई व्यक्ति उन किताबों के साथ अपने नोट्स या उस किताब से जुड़े हुए रिव्यू भी शेयर कर सकता है। 60,000 करोड़ के इस बुक मार्केट साइज के बावजूद क्यों हम केवल नई किताबों पर ही निर्भर हैं? क्यों हम पुरानी किताबों को यूज करने के बाद उन्हें ऐसे ही फेंक देते हैं? परंतु अब नहीं, हम उन किताबों को एक उन व्यक्तियों से लेकर, कबाड़ी वालों से या बुक सेलर से लेकर उन्हें एक MRP से काफ़ी कम दामों में खरीद कर उन्हें एक अच्छे प्रॉफिट के साथ बेच सकते हैं। इसके लिए मैंने अपने लेवल पर एक प्लेटफॉर्म भी तैयार किया हुआ है और जिसे मैंने ट्राई किया है और सक्सेस भी मिली है। इससे हम पहले पुणे जैसी कुछ एजुकेशनल हब सिटीज़ में चालू करेंगे, उसके बाद ऑल ओवर इंडिया लेकर जाएंगे। हम किताबों को इकट्ठा कर उन्हें एक वेयरहाउस का रूप ना देकर उन्हें एक लाइब्रेरी के रूप में आगे बढ़ाकर अपने प्लेटफॉर्म को एक नया रूप भी दे सकते हैं। तो अपने प्लेटफॉर्म को और बेहतर बनाने के लिए और अधिक से अधिक किताबें इकट्ठा करने के लिए, ताकि मैं लोगों को रेफरेंस बुक जैसी महंगी किताबें भी काफ़ी कम दामों में दे पाऊँ, और आज अन्य महत्वपूर्ण कामों के लिए मैं आस करता हूँ 20 लाख रुपए की अपनी कंपनी विद्यारानी के लिए। जैसा कि आपने सुना होगा, ए बुक इज ए ड्रीम दैट यू होल्ड इन योर हैंड। तो आइए मैं और आप मिलकर लोगों के हाथों में उनका सपना देते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Yes, thanks for that. Can you explain the business model? How are you going to make money out of this?
सर, जैसे मैंने एग्जांपल दिया कि आपके बेटे ने अभी 12th के एग्जाम दिए हैं, तो उसकी जो पुरानी किताबें हैं वो हमें किसी कबाड़ी वाले को देने की बजाय या फिर कहीं फेंकने की बजाय उन्हें हमें ला के देगा, जो कि MRP से काफ़ी कम दाम में दे सकता है। और फिर हम उनको उन्हें ठीक करने के बाद, उन्हें नई जैसा बनाने के बाद उन्हें आगे किसी और व्यक्ति को बेच सकते हैं MRP से काफ़ी कम दाम में, और बीच में जो प्रॉफिट है उसमें।
So सारा इन्वेंट्री जो है आपको खुद खरीद के रखना पड़ेगा. You need to keep a large inventory therefore, and therefore you need money for that
तो
as well.
उसके लिए मतलब हम एक प्लेटफॉर्म को एक लाइब्रेरी का भी रूप दे सकते हैं कि लोग आएं और वहाँ के उन किताबों को पढ़ सकते हैं और जैसे ही कोई क्वेरी आए तो वहाँ से वो किताब चली जाए. तो एक ये रेवेन्यू मॉडल. और
आप ये जो मार्केट आप बता रहे हो वो वेरी सीजनल मार्केट है. स्कूल चालू होने के पहले या एंड होते वक्त रहेगा, तो बाकी समय आप क्या करोगे?
हम केवल सर मतलब 12th या स्कूल्स लेवल तक ही नहीं है. जैसे कि आपने देखा होगा कि रेफरेंस बुक जो होती हैं जो हम भी पढ़ते हैं, रेफरेंस बुक्स की कीमत 1000-2000 बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. तो वो रेफरेंस बुक अगर किसी व्यक्ति ने ली है तो वह उसे हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पर आकर दे सकता है और हम उसे आगे भी सेल कर सकते हैं. तो केवल स्कूल तक ही सीमित नहीं है. आजकल हर कोई इंडिया में कोई ना कोई किताब पढ़ता है, तो हम उन सब के लिए काम करेंगे.
और आपके स्केलेबिलिटी का क्या है? जैसे इन्होंने पूछा कि आप वेयर हाउस रखोगे इतना बड़ा, तो हर सिटी में आप वेयर हाउस रखोगे?
हाँ, इसलिए हम पहले इसे कुछ मतलब जैसे एजुकेशनल हब सिटीज है, जैसे पुणे है, राजस्थान है, ऐसी कुछ जगहों पर जाकर पहले इसे ट्राई करेंगे और फिर इसे मतलब ऑल ओवर इंडिया लेकर जाएंगे.
The way I understand, आप पेपर बुक लेंगे और फिर बेचेंगे बेसिकली. तो ऑनलाइन में जो बुक मिलता है तो वो तो लोग यूज़ करेंगे ना. तो आपको जो पेपर नहीं चाहता है, जो ऑनलाइन पढ़ना चाहता है, तो उनको वो ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगा ना. तो वो मार्केट आपका कंपटीशन होगा. करेक्ट है ना? समझा? ठीक है. सो पेपर बुक वालों के लिए ये फ़ायदा है. पेपर में जो बुक्स मिलते हैं उनको फ़ायदा है.
मतलब काफ़ी लोग हैं ऐसे जो आज भी ऑनलाइन बुक्स होने के बावजूद भी ऑफलाइन बुक्स प्रेफर करते हैं, क्योंकि उनको वो किताब को टच करना और ऐसे पढ़ने में ज़्यादा
Thank you, Team Vidyarani. Up next, we have Team Marubozu Investors with their revolutionary advancement in the domain of fintech. I thereby request Team Marubozu Investors to come on the stage and present their idea.
Good evening, judges and all present here today. I'm Parth Gupte and I'm here to pitch for Marubozu Investors. How do I invest my money in the stock market? I'm sure all of us have at some point asked this question. Well, you could either invest it with your own judgment, or you hire a stockbroker who invests it on your behalf but takes a large cut of the profits. Most people don't have the time nor the patience to sit all day in front of a screen looking at stock prices and making decisions. But do you know who does? A computer. A computer will never be tempted by emotions that often lead to investors losing money. This is why we want to automate the entire process of trading stocks through algorithmic trading. Our trading judgments will be based on models that we develop using probability, statistics, and bars data. These models will be our innovation and trade secrets, and we will offer this as a service to retail investors who currently have no access to algo trading. People will be able to choose from different algo plans based on their preference of risk and returns, and these algorithms will run directly on their trading accounts with their money. To make this possible, we asked for rupees 5 lakhs, which will be used in the given ways. I'm very serious about this idea and I've been working on software required to execute it for over a year with a friend of mine who is a CS engineering student, and we now have software that can simulate any kind of strategy on past data and figure out its feasibility. We can also test strategies on live market data, and we also have code prepared to execute strategies on the market using zero-day API. We have the perfect team of a tech person and a data science person, and I promise you that if I'm given this opportunity, then by the end of the fellowship, I will have created an algo trading system which gives positive returns consistently as a proof of concept. So invest in Marubozu Investors, because nothing beats a computer. Thank you.
The floor is now open for Q&A.
You mentioned that you had done the proof of concept. What was the success ratio rate in that?
We don't exactly have a proof of concept, but we have the software required to create strategies. Before a strategy is implemented on the market, we can test it on past data and figure out if it will actually work.
So have you tried the algorithm or?
Yeah, we have tried several strategies, none particularly useful, but these things have been done before, so I'm sure it is possible to be done and I will be able to do it.
And what is innovativeness in this? Because these models are available in the market today as well.
Most of the algo trading firms are proprietary, and almost nobody is offering this to retail investors. So our innovation is that we will create these models and allow these to be run directly on trading accounts of people instead of taking their money and investing it, which avoids all the regulations of mutual funds and stuff.
So you have touched a bit. So I was about to ask, like, you said the software is available to you. So is that proprietary software? It's open source. Where you're coding? How this open source? Even though, do you understand that? Even with the open source, if it's a business, I mean, what are the?
No, it's not open source software. We have created it from scratch, and it is with us only. So I mean, other people of course have similar softwares, but we created our own because we wanted it to be very maneuverable and specific, so that we can implement any kind of strategies when we want.
So the key to success here would be your ability to attract customers. And given that you're starting off, even if you were to get the grant, how will you actually attract customers with no background at all?
With no background?
Yeah, I mean you're just starting off.
Yeah.
Right? And people are going to put their hard-earned money here. Why would they do it?
Yeah, so first of all, of course, it will require a long period of product development, then testing it and actually proving to people that it works. So firstly, we will put our own money only and prove to people that it actually
Team
works.
Marubozu investors, your time is up.
Thank you.
Our next presenters are here to relieve all my fellow research enthusiasts from the never-ending jargons and inaccessibility in academic research. I present to you Team Nutshell. Can we please have a round of applause for Team Nutshell?
Imagine you're starting out as a master's or PhD student, fresh out of your school textbook education. You've probably never seen a research paper before, right? And now you're suddenly introduced to these long, convoluted texts in scientific English. And before an exam or an assignment, suddenly you have to read 10 of these in 2 days. How to get through so many pages? And fast forward to when you're writing your thesis, how do you remember the crux of all the 500 papers you've downloaded over the time? And if it's so difficult to find dedicated reading time in your field, say ecology, you certainly won't keep pace with news and biochemistry, even though you're interested in the stories. So you see, we have a major problem here. The early stage students get intimidated, they struggle to keep up with the science English and many drop out. And the ones that don't, read only in their fields and don't keep up to date with general science news. So in an increasingly interdisciplinary world, all of this really hampers India's research quality. But what if you didn't have to get through those 15 pages? What if you just had to get through one? This is what we propose. Break down the papers to a nutshell. So you would get personalized nutshells in the language that you understand the best, and you could also keep adding them into a repository throughout your coursework so that by the time you have to write your thesis, you have all the nutshells ready. All this on a paid subscription basis. What we offer uniquely compared to a few blogs and AI-based translations are personalized solutions and scientific understanding. We ask for 30 lakh rupees, majorly for recruitment and IT infra. We hope to launch by next July after some trial runs. Now, Himani and I have a close understanding of the problem due to personal experience, being PhD students ourselves. Nutshell would be super useful to students, and Pune, being an educational hub, is a great place to start this. We also encourage people on career breaks, women working from home, student interns to join our team. So in a nutshell, we want to help improve India's research quality by giving time back to its research students and simplifying their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Nutshell. The floor is now open for Q&A.
It's a good idea to take thousands of papers and then condensing into. So help me understand, have you done a POC to take, say, a certain field and say, okay, there are these 50 articles and show that you can actually learn essence of all the 50 articles in small bite-size nutshells, as you say?
So the idea right now is not to do exactly what you said. It's more like, so it's subscriber based. So I would give, let's say I was a consumer, I would give a certain X amount of papers to nutshells and they would give me nutshells of them.
Okay, so I have to provide the
full text article.
Full text article,
yeah,
as a subscriber.
Yes.
So you being a PhD student, how happy your supervisor was with this?
discussed it with him. He's here actually.
So the reason being, I'm not sure, have you seen the chemical abstracts, all those things? So people used to do the text mining, everything. So what I want to understand, how different is your approach from text mining translation, and getting into nutshell, and
I'm not sure I understood your question.
so how different is your approach with the text mining and translating the text mining with the keywords?
Oh, you mean artificial intelligence based? So many times the translations are not that efficient when it comes to science language because the language itself is a little different. Even people with good English skills sometimes struggle to understand science English. So when we have people who are scientifically trained doing this exercise, we think the accuracy would definitely be better.
How easy it will be to port, say, from a PhD in robotics versus PhD in biotechnology? PhD paper from robotics to PhD paper in biotechnology. How easy it will be to port from nutshell from biotechnology to robotics?
That's actually one of our long-term goals. We do want to expand to multiple disciplines like this. But to start with, we would keep our domains refined because me and Himani, both of us, have two specializations in biology. So we want to start with that, and as we improve our recruitment, we get a better team, we expand to other disciplines like this.
Team Nutshell, your time is up. Thank you, Team Nutshell. Thank you, judges, for the comments. I would now like to invite Team Caterprox with their novel take on domain of green technology.
So, will you believe me if I said that petrol will vanish from the country after 5 years? Yes? No? Regardless, this was a very recent statement given by Visionary and Union Minister Mr. Nitin Gadkari, which emphasizes how important green fuels and its related technologies are. Also pretty evident from this month's newspaper clippings. So one such technology is fuel cell, which today finds application as a stationary power source, in transportation, portable device, and military services. So we are interested in the hydrogen purification part of the fuel cell, where CO concentration is substantially brought down, especially after this step called PROX, so that it is no longer a threat to the electrodes inside the fuel cell. So conventionally explored catalysts are noble metals or metal oxides, and they have disadvantages in terms of cost, stability, and activity. And this is why I am proposing a novel catalyst that I developed as a part of my published PhD work as an alternative PROX because it seems to have good attributes. Now coming to the business side, fuel cell market is huge and is valued at $2.90 billion this year. A patent analysis will show that the patent filing is all spread across the globe, indicating a global interest in the field, and also many well-known brands among the top players. So our business strategy is to synthesize this novel catalyst first and then generate revenue by licensing or B2B sale of it with these customer sectors in mind. So this is a rough timeline. We will require 6 months for synthesis, another 6 months for validation and optimization, followed by patent filing and market. So I request the jurors to provide a funding of 10 lakh rupees for the first stage of the project and invite you to be a part of this global
Your time is up.
Thank you.
So there are several catalysts to convert natural gas to hydrogen. Tell me more about your PROX or your catalyst. Have you filed a patent on this composition? And will it work? We don't have natural gas in India. Right? Will it work with biogas?
Okay, so my catalyst is especially plays role in this part where carbon monoxide concentration is reduced to less than 10 ppm. So only that part, not the hydrogen generation part. And next question, sorry.
No, have you filed a patent on your catalyst?
No, I'm trained in theoretical material chemistry. So this was a theoretical prediction which we intend to realize experimentally through collaboration.
So is it too early to start a company when the idea is not yet proven?
So I think it's still worth a trial to get the funding and experimentally try it. Because it's a published paper, we have a good background.
Yeah, I think the science, we are working on the science part of it, but It has not been reduced to practice in terms of showing it works, and it works better than the other options that are available. There are many catalysts to convert natural gas to hydrogen-rich fuels.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I didn't understand the novelty yet. Anyway, thanks. Thank you for sharing your idea. Thanks.
Thank you, Team Caterprox. Thank you, judges, for your comments. With this, we come to an end of the first half of this competition. We will commence the next half after a short break of 10 minutes. I thereby request everyone to head to outside the C.V. Raman Auditorium for refreshments. Kindly note that we shall begin the second half strictly after 10 minutes to prevent hindrances in the presentation of the next year. Second half of the competition, we now start with the 11th participant. So recently I was scrolling through social media where I saw a post that read, "There's a can in cancer because we can beat it." When it comes to beating cancer, diagnostics plays a very important role. So now I present to you MI Diagnostics with their idea of advancement in cancer diagnostics.
Good evening, everyone. The emperor of all maladies, cancer till date remains a leading cause of human mortality despite all known therapeutic advancements, and frankly speaking, the key to combating it lies in early and rapid detection, which is known to help nearly 90% patients survive. However, all known current methods have certain fallacies, including facts like they are very invasive, they are laborious, they are definitely not cheap, and more importantly, they tend to have a detection limit that goes down only to stage 2 cancers. We are proposing a rapid and precise early cancer detection system based on detecting small microRNAs which are present in body fluids like blood. These microRNAs tend to be very unique biomarkers for different cancer types. We are proposing that we're going to give you a fully automated miRNA isolation and extraction system that will harvest miRNAs from any body fluid, and these miRNAs will be rapidly sequenced using the Oxford Nanopore sequencing technology, and whose characteristics will be determined by our own in-house detection and analysis software. This entire diagnostics setup will allow for very precise and rapid detection of cancer-specific miRNAs within 6 hours of being provided the sample. And this will and the levels of these microRNAs in blood will even provide data about the level of cancer right down to stage 1. This will enable diagnostic centers and hospital path labs to make fast, easy, and less labor-intensive cancer diagnoses. Our initial ask of 1.5 crores will be used primarily for preparing our prototype instrument for miRNA extraction, for procuring nanopore sequencers, and also for developing the algorithm required for our in-house microRNA detection analysis software. After obtaining all necessary regulatory approvals, this entire diagnostic system will be optimized via clinical trials to establish the necessary miRNA detection baselines. As of now, with respect to this miRNA detection pipeline for cancer diagnoses, our sole major competitor is Toshiba in Japan. To put it plainly, we want to empower lives with the science of proper detection. Thank you, and now we will take questions.
Thank you, MI Diagnostics. We can now move on to the Q&A session.
So it's a nice proposal. I mean, I just want to ask one thing. As you said that you need to secure fund for miRNA isolation kit. So how much you're dependent on the commercial kit, or if you have any plan to back integrate those and make it more independent and be on yourself?
Yeah, we are making it from scratch, the mRNA isolation kit. So we are not using the current technologies which is used for the mRNA isolation. We'll be incorporating a magnetic silica incorporated piece. So that will be used along with a microfluidic system to isolate the exosomes, because the exosomes contains the miRNA which is specific for cancer.
So, I mean, I believe that you might be are you targeting at least some model cancer genes or something like that to make a proof of concept?
So we will be getting the complete miRNA from the blood, whatever present.
Okay.
So from that, our software will be taking care of the rest. It will go through the complete set, and it will identify which is specific for which cancer and which tissue type, origin and stage. Everything will be done by the software once the sequence is available.
So if I understand, so what I'm going to do, like from the blood sample, you're going to isolate the whole sequence, and sequence you're going to get it right by some software, and that software is going to predict what kind of cancer.
Yeah, software will be inbuilt. The sequencing software is from the Oxford itself with the machine. So we will be having the automated mRNA isolation system through the capillary microfluidic.
Okay.
Thank you, team MI.
Just one quick question. If I wanted to get tested, what do you think I have to pay to get this information from your?
Currently, we are estimating it to be around 26,000. So that is which will give the complete details of the disease. So it's a whole body scan. If you compare the PET scan, which costs 23,000, whole body PET scan, this will cost 26,000, and it is non-invasive. Nothing like PET scan. It will be much friendly.
Thank you, team MI Diagnostics. We can now move to the next team. Thank you, judges, for the comments. Imagine you could charge your phone just by walking. Sounds like a plot from a superhero movie, right? I now invite Team Sanchanam to talk about this superpower. Please give them a round of applause.
Have you ever stuck in a situation where you want to make an important call or text someone, but your phone just ran out of power and you didn't have any charging sources nearby? I bet you have. What if I say that you no longer need to worry about this situation, as you can be the power source? Well, yes, you heard correct. You can yourself be the power source for your devices. Presenting Sanchanam, a shoe that satisfies the modern need. This shoe works upon the concept of piezoelectricity. This shoe contains piezo elements below the sole, and as one walks wearing them, they put on their body weight onto these piezo elements, which generates energy. So you can just walk and charge as each step matters. Coming to the business potential, we have the market analysis. The market for these piezo shoes lies in between the footwear industry and the energy harvesting industry. The top players of both the industries are as listed. As we can see from the figures that these both industries have a well-established market. From the data, the footwear industries grows with a CAGR of 5.88%, whereas the energy industries grows by 10.2%. From the data available, we can estimate a minimum cost of the market size for physio shoes that would be around $100 million. The project features are nightlight support, passive energy harvesting, as well as wireless charging. Coming to the estimated milestones, I have procurement, constructing an alpha prototype, completing the beta prototype, as well as finalizing the product with the help of calls. Now, today, I am looking forward for a funding of Rs 15 lakh for the journey till the beta prototype. With this, I would like to request for your trust and your support towards this concept and towards Sanchanam. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Sanchanam. We can now begin the Q&A.
Thank you for sharing that interesting idea. I just want to ask a practical question. How much do I have to use this shoe to charge my phone? Is it I have to keep walking for hours, or this can be charged in half an hour, 20 minutes of walking?
It's not kind of a fast charging as our chargers are, but if we have different kind of piezoelectric materials like organic materials, ceramic materials, their efficiencies are very different. And on an average, a human walks 500 to 700 steps each day. So if we take this into a usual practice, it generates such an amount of energy that we are able to use devices such as our phones or MP3 players for a long time.
So is it more like trickle charging, that if you're walking, it keeps topping up?
Yeah, it's like when we take a step on these piezo elements compresses, which develops a dipole inside them. And at that particular point, these elements, depending on their efficiency, generate up to as high voltage as till 25 volts. And those voltage needs to be stored in the microcapacitors installed inside the shoes battery.
So just a practical question. Through the day, we don't use our shoes for very long, do we? So how are you going to have adequate charge in the shoe to charge your phone? So the 700 steps you talked about per day, whatever the number, I think 10% would be with our shoes on.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Right. So how will you actually make this a feasible product that the market will actually like?
Let's take an example. We are going on some trekking or traveling. We are mostly not likely to remove our shoes off every time. We are generally wearing it and walking them long distances. So we can use it at that time, as well as in our day-to-day lives. If we are having a daily routine like going to school or office and anything, we are least likely to remove our shoes before coming to home. So that amount of energy which gets generally wasted, we could harvest that energy loss.
Sure. Thanks.
One more question, again a practical question. I think you're getting 3 practical questions in a row now. What is the challenges with the maintenance of this one? If I'm walking in a terrain which is not that friendly, how your shoes will take that?
Thank you, judges, for the comments. I would now like to invite Team Tradition with their evolutionary advancement in the domain of fintech.
Good evening, everyone. I'll start with a story. When I was introduced to stock market, I quickly realized that continuously sitting in front of screen is tiring. I also understood that smart guys aren't doing this anymore, but making their computers trade for them. This idea stuck into my mind because it was time efficient, systematic, and avoids emotional decision making. But I found no way in which retail traders like me can do this tedious job of quantifying strategies, backtesting them, and writing codes to integrate with brokers. Moreover, not everyone has in-depth knowledge of data science, statistics, and programming to do all these things. Hence, I am here to present a we at Tradition will streamline the strategy development. From receiving ideas from our clients, we will facilitate all the intermediate steps and deliver our client a ready-to-deploy code with which they can trade on their own idea in no time. As of now, we have successfully quantified and tested over 15 strategies, and now we plan to use high-frequency data to make them sophisticated. One step ahead, we have started to implement our strategies in real time, as it will give us opportunity to demonstrate how a common man with our help can transform from a mere thinker to a successful trader. Currently, our strategies are endorsed by our trader friends, and now we want to involve a broader class of traders to do beta testing. We need to buy high frequency data, develop business relationships for that, and hence we ask for rupees 10 lakhs. Finally, I would like to comment that only retail traders make a volume of more than 40,000 crores daily on NSE and BSE, and yet there is not a single service provider for algorithmic trading assistance for retail traders. Hence, Tradition holds an immense potential to become a pioneer in this field. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin the Q&A session.
So, what kind of team would you recruit to build something like this? One is, of course, the algorithm, etc.
Yeah.
But what about traders who've actually been in business? Are they going to be part of this team? And how will you actually attract them here?
So basically, plan is traders have their trading ideas, but they want to automate them because, as we can see, continuously monitoring trading process is difficult. So basically, we are serving that purpose. We are trying to quantify their ideas and modify the parameters of their model if it is optimizing the returns. And for that, we need a people from data science, and at the last stage, we are giving them a code for algorithmic trading. For that, we need the coding persons.
Good idea. What about the turnaround time from trading idea to ready to deploy?
As of now, I haven't thought about that. But when I was working on a similar project with my friend, I did that myself only. I didn't have team, so
I gave him all that process in a time of 1 month, but I didn't work on that continuously, and that was still a very raw process because I personally don't know how to code efficiently.
What will be your source of data on which you will be working on this?
So by data I mean that for considering whether the idea is profitable or not, we will backtest that on the past data, and that I mean the data.
Yeah. So from where you are generating this, or where you are accumulating this?
We'll be taking from data vendors. This data is available. Past data, past 1 minute data up to last 4 years is available.
It's available. Okay.
Yeah.
Tradition, your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the comments. In today's world, people are more picky about their dairy choices than they are about their outfits. Vegan milk, lactose-free milk, meeting these requirements is extremely difficult. I now present to you Team Hote Milkmaids.
Good evening all. There is no contesting that milk is a superfood, the first and sole food for mammalian infants, full of nutrition and mother's love. The current dairy industry fulfills human requirements using the milk produced by cattle for their offsprings, leading to exploitation of these voiceless animals. The production and yield have already saturated, however, the demands have not, causing problems like adulteration, inferior quality, and hiking prices. The dairy industry contributes to 12% global greenhouse gas emissions, uses 30% arable land, and huge amounts of water, making it a very unsustainable industry. So, we bring to you No Moo Point, ethical, sustainable, and customizable recombinant A2 milk. A1 and A2 are the two most common varieties of casein protein found in milk that differs in one amino acid. Recombinant A1 milk from mammary cell lines has been proven to be achievable by a few startups abroad, none of them targeting A2 milk. The A2 milk industry is growing immensely as there is awareness about its nutritional benefits, and a few animal-based A2 startups in India have boomed. It is time we target recombinant A2 milk for the Indian market. Production of milk components using mammary cell lines could be an alternative to the conventional dairy industry, as cows are mortal, cell lines are not. The huge infrastructure currently used to produce milk could be replaced with bioreactors and lab spaces, which would reduce the cost of production, drastically increase the yield, and be a boon for the environment. Our ask is 25 lakhs to establish proof of concept and prototyping, followed by applying for a patent. Our proposed solution is highly customizable, as we can increase or decrease the quantity of the different milk components using genetic techniques, and this paves way for so many prospective markets like these for our B2B business strategy after scaling up. So join with us to change the landscape of the Indian dairy industry with No Moo Point. Thank you.
What do you think are the challenges with regards to getting regulatory approval for such a genetically modified, say, formulation, right?
So because they have already been done abroad, A1 milk has been produced in a recombinant manner from mammary cell lines abroad. So we are not expecting a lot of challenges with respect to that here, because we are not using any invasive techniques on animals here anyways. We are just growing a culture and mammary cell lines here.
Also, the GMO, the modified product, won't be in the final purified product. It will be removed.
What's your thought process on addressing the perception problem?
So, as we all know, any problem that comes, any solution, new solution comes in the world faces rejection or a long period of time. Like, for example, when the motor industry came into place, people thought the horses would be replaced. But here we are having motor vehicles all around us. So similarly, science and technology is the way forward, especially for problems like these, which have reached at maximum capacity and which have so many drawbacks.
I appreciate the problem that you have taken up, which is very challenging.
Thank you.
So one of the things is, like you have said, that you will be using CRISPR-Cas technology. So do you have your own experience with you, or you're going to?
I have been working in a genetic engineering lab, so I have some experience with CRISPR-Cas. In fact, my next project is based on that.
Okay. Milk itself is a very complex component. It's emulsion.
Yeah.
So how do you say, like, as definitely, like, how you define milk as a recombinant milk? And what is the level of expression and, and the scalability when you're kind of going at this stage? At a lab scale.
So abroad they have used some emulsifiers, but because a lot of milk that is produced as whole milk is produced exactly in the same way as it is produced in cows, so not a lot of emulsifiers or stabilizers are required. We have to, because this has only been patented in one place and this has not been done in India at all, and it has not been done abroad on a huge scaled up level. It's not a commercial product yet. So we will try to use minimum number of emulsifiers, but we can still use some chemicals to have a stable milk product that can last as long as our normal milk does every day.
The first challenge would be producing the individual milk
Thank you, team
components
Hote
and then
Milkmaids.
going to
Your
milk
time is
powder.
up.
Thank you.
In the world of virtual reality, esports is one of the most celebrated sectors. I now invite Team Game 1 on the stage to present their idea.
Let me introduce you to the world of esports. Esports is a very challenging and competitive field that requires learning just like any other sport. So let's take a look at the current scenario. So if you are a gamer and you have to play and learn a game, then you'll first go to Steam to download the game. Then you'll have to go to Twitch to learn the game. Then you have to go to Discord to play with others. And if you want to interact with other gamers, you'll have to go to some social media platform. That's so complicated, right? Now this is where Flameolt comes in. Flameolt is a gamer's social media which also has other features and intends to unify the gaming industry. So let's also take a look at the streamer's perspective. If you're a streamer, then you stream either on YouTube or on Twitch. Now Twitch takes about a 50% cut and YouTube takes a 30% cut, which is a lot. So by some calculations, we think we can reduce this number. Now, to address these problems, we follow a different type of business model. That is a subscription-based model. As you can see the 3 plans here. Let's talk about numbers now. The current market size for esports industry is estimated to be about $2.5 billion. And it's growing very rapidly. You can see the exact distribution here. So apart from all this, we have started working on this idea and we have had a soft commitment offer from the VP of Sales at Microsoft Azure of rupees 18 lakhs for an equity of 9%. We have also tried contacting streamers and a very famous streamer by the name of CR7 Hora has shown interest in our platform. This is the roadmap that we intend to follow. For this, we ask for rupees 20 lakhs which will be used for prototype development and hiring new team members. Thank you.
Thank you, team Game 1. Now we can start the Q&A session.
So I'm not a gamer and I don't know what all this is about. But who do you think would be your competition? Would there be something like this being built somewhere else?
So there have been some few platforms before this, and there is a platform currently, pvp.com, which is very recent, and they are also a gamer social media. So that, but the UI is not nice at all. So I don't know what this is.
As Partha mentioned, I'm not a gamer, but my son is big time into that. Tell me one thing, how you will take care of the security aspect in your platform?
So there can be a time limit for which they can play a game.
Security aspect, not only in terms of time limit, but also with whom the person gamer interact. How do you ensure that
So
there is no...
every person will have a profile. This is who do you talk to in Instagram? How do you monitor? Same thing.
Clarify me. So you say that Microsoft Azure is interested and Streamer is also interested.
Yeah.
So why we are here?
So I've started working. So 9% is a lot for this type of platform.
Okay.
That is a justification.
Thank you, team Game 1. Thank you, juries, for the comments. A visit to space has been a childhood dream of everyone. That child in us would be extremely delighted to listen to the next speech. I now invite Team Pandora Box on the stage.
Good evening, everybody. Let's begin. Now, everybody has watched Interstellar. Amazing concept, right? How many of us have dreamed of actually exploring space? But it is not possible. We are born too early for it. However, what if I tell you that you could actually acquire that dream of yours? In Pandora's box, I wish to manufacture VR and MR softwares, video gaming softwares. One could explore interstellar space, be a part of intergalactic civilization, time travel, and much more. This will basically be the metaverse for video gaming. The business model is divided into two parts. The part one is Prometheus, which will include VR software development, and Project Epimetheus, which would include establishment and popularization of this firm, with on platforms like YouTube, creating an app and also creating a website. This will also include launching mini versions of this game and selling merchandise, collaborating with various institutes in India, etc. The target customers for this target customers for this video game would be mostly youth, gamers, astrophiles, and also data science enthusiasts. The revenue would mostly be generated initially by Project Epimetheus until the VR has launched. Talking about the statistics, India houses about 4 million online gamers, which is a lot. And it also generates a global revenue of $180 billion. So this is a rapidly growing market, and investing in such a market would be a great benefit from now itself. The unique selling proposition for this company is that nobody has ever incorporated astronomy with Greek mythology into VR development. So this would really attract young minds. For this, I would like to demand an amount of 25 lakh from the respected jury. Thank you.
Thank you. We can now start the Q&A session.
Thanks for a very innovative and virtual idea. I'm not failed to understand what is unique about this.
The unique part is all of us know about PUBG and CODs. They are very popular games. And in India itself, there are 400 million players of it. So what if we just incorporate astronomy with this gaming? Like people could explore the entire space. Concepts like wormholes and black holes and exploring different planets, etc. These are really attractive for young minds.
So one of the things you will need is very good quality content, both in terms of actual facts and then the VR, like you said. How do you propose to get that content to use over here?
For content development, I wish to hire a team of VR software developers. I would be the strategist for the company, and the content is easily available from any place, I would say.
And are you planning to manufacture the VR sets also?
No, just the software. VR sets are available from various companies, so I could just buy it from them. And then the software is the game changer, because there exists no software of this kind.
And with 25 lakhs, what all you plan to develop?
Firstly, I would start with Project Epimetheus, which would basically establish and popularize so that people already know about this company. And then later on, I would launch the VR software so people already know about it. And it would not be like a fresh start.
One question. I understand that you will be basically focusing on software development part, assuming that all those gadgets that is required will be at the user space.
Yes, we could also launch it in arcades, so people get an experience of it.
So this the package is as a kit of everything that you have?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes.
is this a software? Or it's
It can also be launched as a kit, but first of all, it will be launched as a software.
Team Pandora's box, your time is up. Thank you, Julius. Biotechnology and bioengineering are one of the budding fields in India. I present to you Team Hydrosome, who are here with a solution to solve the problem of water logging using biotechnology.
let me tell you the story of a farm which faced unpredicted waterlogging. It happened when a neighboring floodgate was opened and the entire farmland of 3 acres was completely destroyed. This in itself is not an isolated incident. About 10% of the total land cover of our own planet is currently waterlogged. Waterlogging leads to depletion of oxygen in the soil, and it leads to accumulation of ethylene in the plant. We are going to engineer a bacteria which is going to solve this by decreasing the harmful amount of ethylene in the plant, and secondly, by creating a biosponge in the soil which will retain water, nutrients and salt. That will be helpful in drought conditions too. In our current market, there are very few biofertilizers which tackles both waterlogging and drought. Ours does both. The manufacture and supply chain for our potential solution is already in place. The Indian biofertilizer market is an exponentially growing field, as you can see from the figures above. For our business model, we have identified farmers, KVK centers and other agri-tech companies as our customers. For our revenue model, our focus is going to be annual contract with agri-tech companies. Amongst the many strengths that I have highlighted here, I would like to focus on a few of them. 13 diverse set of people are working on this problem as a part of iGEM, which is the largest synthetic biotechnology competition in the world. Syngenta, which is a multi-millionaire agrotech company, international, have shown interest in our idea in the many meetings we have had with them. Our research is backed up by scientists who have decades of experience in this. We are a pre-incubator with AIC SEED already. Our ask is 75 lakhs, which will go into regulatory approvals, patent approvals, and also field trials and so much more. With your support and our solution, we can save plants from waterlogging.
Presentation. Just want to understand that will you apply this biofertilizer after it's flooded or before the rains to anticipate future flooding?
The brilliance
How
of the
does it work?
solution is the biofertilizer will be used at any time as possible, and in the unprecedented situation of waterlogging or drought, it will be helpful, but it can be used all year long. It doesn't have that limitation.
Okay, so you can spray it whenever you need to.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, tell me more about drought. What happens during drought situations?
So in droughts, the required nutrient, salt and water level in the soil is almost non-existent. So the bacteria that we are using, which is actually a biofertilizer, has something known as EPS, exopolysaccharide. It retains water, salts and all the necessary stuff for the plant to use up to survive that stressful condition.
Is it the same biofertilizer for both?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it a blend of multiple
No, it
things
is a
or-
singular biofertilizer,
Okay.
and it has both the properties, and it is applicable in both times.
Per kg of this, what do you think? Will it be affordable for farmers?
Yes, sir. So the supply and manufacturing chain, as I said, is already available. It will not take any extra money to produce and supply it. So it will be as same as the biofertilizer cost as it is right now. Only better.
So the E. coli component in this is like
Small correction, sir. It's an Azospirillum. The bacteria is called Azospirillum. It's not E. coli.
okay. So I'm sorry because I missed that.
Oh, it's
again. Can you go one slide back, please?
Sure, of course.
Okay, Azospirillum. So in a way, so does it survive like in the dry conditions? How it is, and in a way, if it's a part of biofertilizer, how it is like put it that way? It's a native or it's recombinant?
The one that we will be making is recombinant, but biofertilizer in itself has been used in as a Azospirillum is used as a biofertilizer already. The one we will make will be recombinant.
It's already in use.
Yes.
So the reason also I asked, like this Ministry of External Environment, I mean, this will be kind of a question mark.
No, sir.
If it's used before, then definitely it should be easy. But just have you ever evaluated like how it will be like accepted in the market?
Thank you, Team Hydrosome. Your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. So the evaluation, as long as it's concerned, the waters, it's a very dark and murky water when it comes to regulation of GMO, and this is not even a crop; it's a biofertilizer. So we are yet to do that, and we will do that upon consultation with lawyers, which will of course require money. We haven't been able to get to that stage yet because of lack of funding, but we have that point in our mind and we'll look into it.
Thank you, Team
Thank you so
IISER.
much.
Thank you, juries. Next we have Team Karat Microtech. Team Karat Microtech is here to talk about the revolutionary advancement in the domain of microtech and electronics.
Good evening, jury members and everyone else present here. I am Arnav Mishra from Team Karat Microtech. The recent COVID-19 pandemic had impacted devastatingly to the global market, including the semiconductor industry. If you see the recent Russian-Ukraine war, it had again caused a shortage of chips in India. Do you know how much loss India had to incur? We had to incur losses worth 20,000. We had to incur losses worth 20,000 crores and a large delay in the automobile and electronics industry. So we have Karat Microtech have come to put forward a solution because we don't want to remain empty-handed and we want to have a solution to this ongoing chip crisis in India. The question is, are we prepared for another crisis like this? We at Karat Microtech have decided to manufacture photomask. The process of chip manufacturing requires a process called photolithography, in which light is shown through a template called photomask, through which we can create impressions on the substrate. As you can see, I have the prototype ready and we have been able to achieve lowest resolution of 15 micrometers. We will be first targeting research universities and then we will also develop cheap and cost-effective laser writing tools that will further aid us in our product development. To the best of our knowledge, there is no Indian competitor present and we are the first in this field. Companies like Vedanta Foxconn have recently invested $22 billion in the semiconductor industry in Pune. So we require funding worth 15 lakh for the following things: research and training, raw materials in the form of consumables and non-consumables, and other utilities. We believe we can bring India one step closer to self-reliance. We believe in Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are Karat Microtech. Thank you.
We will now move on to the Q&A session.
Good idea and good presentation, and especially knowing that you are the first year student is definitely worth. Good job on that front.
Thank you.
My question is, you mentioned about the chip manufacturing. It's a very high capital intensive industry. How you are going to make it economical in this new technology that we are proposing?
First of all, there is no company which is manufacturing photomask in India. So because of when we import photomask from outside, because of the custom duties, the price of photomask increase. And because we are not currently fabricating chips in India, the requirement and photomask is also not that much. But we are targeting research universities first because they need it for research and development. As soon as we will be able to achieve a resolution within 700 nanometers, we will then move on to target the chip manufacturing industry. Yeah. It has the photo you have seen in the previous slide has you can see it is the zoomed in projection of this prototype only, in which we have the lowest resolution of 15 micrometer.
How much micrometer is required to produce the chips?
Actually, the figure is not in micrometers, it's in nanometers. It's around 13 to 15 nanometers for normal chips, and for advanced chips, it's 3 to 5 nanometers. So once we are comfortable with laser writing technique, we will then move on to soft X-ray, use of soft X-rays for this the masking purpose.
Thank you, Team Karat Microtech. Learn as you play is a very well celebrated idea in recent days. Inspired by this idea, I now present to you Team Expo guys.
Do you know you can't learn swimming in life taking? Matlab, book only provide your information. Information is not a true knowledge. The only one source of knowledge is experience. इससे हमने रियलाइज किया कि हमारे इंडिया में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बहुत कमी है, जिसकी वजह से यहाँ पे लैक ऑफ कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी एंड एक्सपेरिमेंटल नॉलेज, जिसको हमने वेरीफाई करने के लिए एक सर्वे किया. सो उसमें 1200 पार्टिसिपेंट्स रेस्पोंडेंट थे. आप उनके रिजल्ट यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. सो उसका हमें सोल्यूशन मिला एक्सपेरिमेंटल लर्निंग एंड सेल्फ लर्निंग. सो जिसको हमें ओवरकम करने के लिए हमने जो प्रोडक्ट बनाया है वो है मोबाइल इंटीग्रेटेड एक्सपेरिमेंटल किट. सो इस मोबाइल इंटीग्रेटेड एक्सपेरिमेंटल किट्स में इसके लिए हमें समझाने के लिए एक दो एग्जांपल दिए हैं. फर्स्ट, you can measure the acceleration using your smartphone, using the accelerometer. Second, when you calculate the acceleration and time period using your smartphone, then eventually you find the center of mass may lie outside the body. Our business model is B2B, B2C, and we are a source of earning selling kit and a subscription-based model. We had an offer from physics wala. We are asked for 7 lakh rupees for software development, kit development and R&D setup. And we tried this idea on a group of 50 students, a focus group. Our competitors are Biotech in India and are international and other. They providing the lab equipment, they are so expensive. Our roadmap are finish the kit development, development of software and contact with government and school and colleges and coaches. Our Prime Minister said, our mission is skill development. There can be no development with stated models. Thank you.
Thank you team. We can now move on to the Q&A session.
I want to understand a little bit. You have to buy, if I am subscriber.
Yeah.
I will get some kits in my house.
Yes.
And then I'll have some software to help.
Yeah, basically we are using the smartphone as an analyzing instrument as well as because your smartphone has a few sensors like accelerometer, lux meter, gyroscope, etc. Using lux meter, you can prove the inverse proportionality law. Gyrometer, you can these are lux meter you are using for misdialing, etc. And accelerometer are you using in GPS. Then you can use also in proving the Doppler effect as well as the kinetic friction constant with the distance. And
so you're using the sensors in the smartphone.
Yeah.
How is it interacting with the kits? How is it working?
Yeah, we are we providing such stands and setups. You can attach your phone and etc. And we had already completed the whole experiment for class 11. Now we are moving to the class 12 experiment. We are basically designing our curriculum as a school-based curriculum, so everyone can understand easily.
Yeah, it should be complementary.
So what subjects would you cover? Physics, of course, is...
Yeah, first of all, we have to cover physics because we can see in the survey. After then, we will move toward the bio, then we will move toward the chemistry.
So, while physics is easy to understand and accurate, how will you cover bio students?
First of all, we had a bio lab by IISER, so we using the same model.
Yeah, so in our first year, they were sent experimental kits. So this idea is from that idea.
Like you mentioned about physics, you can use the phone to teach, but how you will, I'm not so clear how you will use biology or chemistry.
Yeah, biology, because there's a 4x microscope and foldscope, etc. We can use the smartphone camera to analyze, and we can integrate also we can integrate the animation in our app.
And for chemistry, like there are many chemicals available at home, and we can provide some.
Yeah, it's like a home science.
Thank you, Team Expo guys. Your time is up. Thank you, juries. I would now like to invite Team Josh Energy Works. Team Josh Energy Works is here with their revolutionary advancement in the domain of clean energy.
A long time ago, this is how people used to light up their homes. But now we have electricity. However, what most people don't realize is that even after all these years, we still rely on the same technology of burning something to create light for energy. As you might see, this is highly inefficient and resource intensive, and this has led to a lot of damage to the environment and also depleted our natural resources. Hence, in a world where we feel that there is no light at the end of the tunnel, and in a very depressing moment like this, all we need in life is a little bit of Josh. Therefore, I present to you Josh Energy Works. We believe, with our knowledge in biotechnology and a little bit of material science, we'll be able to harness solar energy from a biogenic material by using a light reactive protein called lycopene, which would be a effective solution to address long-term sustainability of energy production and also at looking at the biodegradability of the solution. We would like to bring this research to life by testing the product scalability and also improving its efficiency. So we are asking you for your humble guidance, valuable guidance and a humble financial aid of 25 lakhs to get us started with lab testing the idea and building the first prototype so that we can launch our MVP. We also plan to move forward into other areas of by building a bio-based battery to support the wide array of solar networks we are planning to plant. We also have a very unique business model which is called the rent and share model, which completely redefines how we look at customer-owner relationships. This way, the customer is not presented any upfront cost, but over the years, they would be paying out the cost of the product at the same time while getting all the advantages from the product. We do have competitors in this space, like any other market, but our approaches are different. Towards the end, I would like to re-emphasize on the fact that with every passing second, we are edging closer to our self-destruction. So, so in order to, it's time that we realize it's not enough to create energy outside, also from inside, which is called Josh. So, how's the Josh?
Floor is open for the Q&A session.
Thank you. Just want to understand the innovation. If you go back to the first slide, if you can just help understand your idea a little bit, will help me.
Okay. So this is based off a research done in UBC by a professor in 2018 and published on asme.org, which is a website, where he has shown that with by using this protein, lycopene, and some semiconductor coating, which is TiO2, he was able to produce 0.682 milliamps of current from 1 centimeter square. So we would like to scale it up from here and build it to the market and build a product that could be efficient enough that could one day replace solar panels in the long run.
From the feasibility point of view, how much space is required to generate, say, electricity to light this auditorium?
So since this is solar, again it depends on various other parameters depending on position and altitude of the system. But I would say, considering our research paper which we are coming back to, there would be around like a half an acre for one individual house. So based on that, we could improve our efficiency and also scale it to an extent that this would be self-sustainable and consistently producing energy.
Half acre for one house. One house, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. Kind of what's typical consumption? Maybe.
I would assume it to be a 2 BHK building, but we would have to test it out in the lab to finalize on the practicals.
Thank you, Josh Energy Works. Can we please have a round of applause for them? With this, we come to an end of all the pitches for the evening. Before starting the results compilation, I would request everyone to give a round of applause for the jury and participants. And a greater round of applause for yourself for being an amazing audience for this evening. And while the results are being compiled, I'd request our jury members to give their opinions and comments to our participants.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me for this event. It is truly amazing to hear 20 excellent ideas that were presented tonight. It is always challenging to present a complex idea in 2 minutes, and I think all the teams did a fabulous job of trying to articulate those innovations in very, very short span of 2 minutes. So I said I learned something. In fact, I also realized how much I don't know about gaming and many other aspects of science that was shared today. So again, it was a wonderful experience for me, and good luck to all the teams tonight. Everybody did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so, well, thank you everybody for participating in this very, very informative session. I think what really stood out for me was that all the participants here today were so young and yet had such the gumption to come up, present here, and actually have very, very strong views about the idea they have. And I've always felt this about any startup. People who really want to take up entrepreneurship seem to have a very different will to move forward, and that came across very clearly over here. So, notwithstanding whoever wins today, I think each of the 20 and maybe all the 39 participants are winners, really, for actually standing up and trying to make something beyond the realm of science and whatever else that you're learning here.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me over here. And when I said yes, I will come as a jury, I thought it's going to be a very easy task. No problem, no pressure and all that. But all 20 teams, you made at least our job extremely difficult. And the ideas that you presented, the confidence that you showed at this age, first year student till the PhD, I think that is awesome. A lot of different fields you're covered in that, so great. And as Partha mentioned, I mentioned, learn something new. Some of the fields are new to me as well, so but something learned. So thank you very much, and all the best to everyone. Thank you.
First of all, really congratulations to all the participants here. During the tea time, I just asked few of the guys, like, हम पढ़ाई क्यों करते हैं? Right? आप पेरेंट्स से पूछो क्यों पढ़ा रहे हैं, नहीं पता. स्टूडेंट से पूछो क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं, नहीं पता. इनफैक्ट टीचर से पूछो क्यों पढ़ा रहे हैं, नहीं पता. Definitely one thing that comes and culminates in an answer that, we want to get settled, we want a job. नौकरी चाहते हैं. Yeah? So I always used to say, when I see the young kids like you, our education system makes slaves. Nokari chahiye. What I define, what I say, the difference here, and you must appreciate your mentors and teachers and everything, their initiative. They are teaching you how to become maliks, how to be owners, how to be business owners, how to be entrepreneurs. You need to really learn this. And amazingly, I must say, if I'll be in your shoes, I'm sure probably आप लोग रात भर जाके होंगे presentation बनाने के लिए. बहुत सोचा होगा. Within 2 minutes, what to say, what not to say. It's not easy, as one of the panel members said. And I would say to give scores, who wins, who doesn't wins. I mean, immaterial. I mean, it's just a score. But what I'll say, believe in yourself, whatever you're doing. If you believe in yourself, the sky's the limit, and you should move forward. And I really appreciate IISER for such a nice initiative, and that you are kind of making entrepreneurs and you will be forming, futures for the country. Really, really appreciate this initiative. Many thanks that, you invited me and made me part of this. Thanks.
Thank you, jury, for your valuable and encouraging inputs. Can we please have another round of applause for our jury panel? So the results have been freezed, but before we announce them, let's see what our audience has to say about our contestants. Till now, you all have been listening to all the pitches, and now it's time to test your judgment. Till now, the jury and the contestants have been playing their role in this competition, and now it's time for our beloved attendees to play their role in selecting the winner. I therefore request all of you to share your opinion on who should be the winner according to you with a brief explanation on why do you think so. Also, please note that your opinion is not going to change the final verdict, so please feel free to express yourselves.
Before the students start expressing their views, we will need some time to sync up our data, our thought process, and then come with the. It will be good if we can. Just
While the results are being compiled, would anyone from the audience like to volunteer and opinion on who they think should be the winner?
Hello, my name is Vikram. So, as you might have heard, my friend Ishani, she was on stage talking about our project Hydrosome, which is our iGen project for this year. So, I'm the team lead of the team of 13 people who are working on this project, and I can tell you why I think Hydrosome should win. My team has been working on this project since March, and it's the efforts of 13 people who've been going around this idea, every single aspect of it, from the science, from the entrepreneurship, the laws regarding this. We've spoken to more than 50, 75 people now about our idea, and we've taken all these inputs and we've put it all together into this little baby of ours, Hydrosome. And so this project means a lot to all of us. We've spent almost a year. We're going to be spending almost a year worth of efforts on this. So I really hope it turns out really well for us. Thank you.
Vikram. I think that was a pitch in itself. So who would like to go next?
Yeah, good evening. My pick would be, not necessarily in the same order, but Usham, Kannad, and the shoes. Yeah, that. Your name? Shobit. And also the biofertilizer team. Yeah, there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, sir, I didn't catch your name. Come on, Vikram gave such a good speech for his friends. You should cheerlead your friends as well. We have over 30 participants.
Yeah. I think my competitor for the winner would be Parth here, because like they already have the code and everything, and he's also my friend. But like also there's like chances for like different trading profiles for each one, and like it's not like mutual fund where you just like give up your money to some like company or anything, but you can actually have like different profiles and trade, like change the risk and everything possible to like your choice. So I think yeah, you should. Parth Gupta, let's go.
My name is Kanchan Mune, and I think the biofertilizer team will win.
I think today the People Choice Award is going to go to Hydrosome.
Yeah, actually for me, I think that the traffic regulatory system, it was a very interesting idea. I don't know much about it. Same thing somebody talk about? No, right? Somebody else talk about the same? No. Okay. I like the idea very much. Thank you.
And next. Thank you, sir.
Hello everyone, I'm Shreyas. I'm a third year student at IISER Pune, and I would like to first thank AIC SEED for conducting such a great initiative for our students, because there are so many ideas in students' mind that they can't pitch in because they have no experience of pitching. And if AIC has started this initiative, I'm sure there will be so many entrepreneurs coming out of IISER. And I would also like to say thank you to all the pitchers that the students have pitched here, because it takes a lot of guts to go on stage, prepare 2 slides and speak your idea in 2 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much IISER, AIC and students. Yeah, so almost all of them are my friends. So if I choose one name, then I think my life would be in danger. So
Yeah, that's a very smart choice, and thank you for the small pitch that you gave for AIC SEED. Who would like to go next?
Hi, so I'm Ayush and I'm a first year. So my obvious pick would be anyone from the first year. Actually, they all had nice ideas and they are all my friends as well. Yes, Raj, Shobit and Bansidhar. Other than them, if I had to choose the team, the IGEM team had good idea, and that is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vishal, and my first preference will the game one, which is social media for game. I think that is practical and ready to go, something like that. And second one will be the book, second-hand book. I think that is also practical and ready to go. So those are the 2 preferences I have.
Thank you, Vishal.
My name is Aftab, and right now I'm in 4th year. So as much as I'm biased towards Ravish's idea, like I support that idea since I had some similar thoughts with that. But I cannot deny that Ishani presented that so damn well that it feels wrong to select anything else other than that, to be honest. And the traffic idea was so damn great. No, not that any other ideas are any lesser, but the presentation was so damn well for Ishani's idea, this traffic idea and so many others. But honestly, with some personal bias, I would choose Ravish because, I feel like there's already a network existing for his concept that we simply lack one node that we have to fill in. So all we need is we have to fill that node, and for that, if that happens, that would just go down very well.
Thank you, Arthur.
Hello everybody, I'm Sushi. For me, it's not about who the winner is actually, but who is able to give a lasting impression. And for me, that was the Moo Point. Because I still remember the title of the startup during the end of the recording also. So I could catch a lot of keywords. They are using CRISPR-Cas and all kinds of cool stuff. So my personal bias is the Moo Point.
Thank you. Who will go next? So, since our participants have worked on their respective ideas for months now, it would be very unfair to end this event without one of them speaking. So, would anyone from the participants like to share their experience that they had working with the team AIC SEED?
I'm honestly blown away by the ideas of BSNS students. They evidently have higher risk appetite than, say, others. So, congratulations to all of them. Like, it was so eye-opening.
Thank you to AIC for conducting this, and I really like the way AIC has guided us throughout the entire process. Gave us not only inputs on the presentation and pitch, but also helped us refine our business ideas. And I hope that we will be able to continue doing this with them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, you guys just saw me speak a few minutes back. So my team has been working on this for months, since January at least. And we have been able to pitch to a lot of people, but not in such a huge crowd. Maybe 2 or 3 people at max. And this is actually eye-opening. And it's very rewarding to see our PI sitting in the audience and listening to our pitch. And I feel very grateful to my team and very happy to be part of them. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. First of all, I'm really thankful to AIC for actually conducting and encouraging entrepreneurial programs. The thing is that we all have certain ideas in our mind. We all face situations in our life that we think that if we had been given a chance, if we had the enough money, if we had enough opportunities, we would have definitely solved this problem and make a big business out of it. But generally we don't get these opportunities. But through these initiatives of incubators like AIC, I'm really personally really grateful for giving 20 teams an opportunity to learn how to pitch, to learn to present their ideas, to learn to work upon something that might innovate and renovate the world. So that's the thing, and I'm also really amazed by my fellows. Like they really brought brilliant ideas. Like I was amazed with the I'll not be taking any name, but I was amazed with the fintech startups and the healthcare startups and the edtech startups. They were all mind blowing. So yeah, I'm really amazed that this session has been really inspiring for me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So first of all, when I came into this college, I was always interested in entrepreneurship. And in the beginning, there was lack of entrepreneurial communities and platforms. But when the AIC come, I think it has given a platform to be an entrepreneur. And also, there is that mindset that to have to the job, but that mindset to change it and to become an entrepreneur and to be your own boss and explore many possibilities. Whether I win or not today, that is not a matter, but it has given me a lot of skills, experience throughout the process, and I'm surely going to work on my idea to more refine it and also be an entrepreneur in the future for sure. Thank you.
Hi, I'm from Team Nutshell. So first of all, I really like to thank AIC SEED for organizing this. The way they've supported us throughout this, last few weeks of preparation has been so great. They've, been able to tell us certain pointers which we couldn't have probably come up with ourselves because we don't have experience in this field. But like one quick look and they could point certain really helpful things out. So that has been really good, and they've been so encouraging. Today's event was so nice because it's so cool to see the range of ideas that people have had. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri.
Even I would like to thank AIC to give us a platform to explore our ideas and try to translate into a startup or a business setup. And it is really empowering to see how many students have participated, especially the women team. Let's go. So thank you for this opportunity. I think that sums up.
Also, the floor is open to questions. Like if anyone from the audience would like to ask a question to any of the teams, you can do that right now. The results are being compiled and we'll soon find out who's the winner. And meanwhile, if you guys have any questions or inputs or comments, please feel free to ask. So while speaking, a lot of our participants thanked AIC SEED for starting an entrepreneurial setup on IISER Pune campus. So can we please have a round of applause for the entire AIC SEED team? And with this, we'll be waiting for the results now. We'll have our results in a few minutes and we'll find out who's the winner for tonight's event.
If IISER would offer a 2-credit course, a formal course in the area of entrepreneurship in general, how many of you would take it? Very good. So you'll do that in the next semester, okay? So there'll be a 2-credit course. Anyone who's either incubating or wishes to incubate or create, we're going to give a kind of a, of course, most of the teachers will not be from IISER. They're going to get people from outside to come and teach, right from finance to business management to interpersonal relationships to IP, the whole gamut of things. So we are structuring a 2-credit course, and I was just trying to figure out how many of you would be interested in taking it. Okay, so it will be a 2-credit course. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. A lot of us are really delighted and excited about your course.
We are structuring is going to be self-learning, okay, but discussions-based class, okay, no teaching, okay. So much of it will be given to you in the form of a YouTube channel, and you have to read everything yourself whenever you have the time. But then there will be X number of hours where you can come in and interact with people, like you had the jury today, you interact with finance people, with venture capitals, with marketing people, in order to kind of raise your questions and have a discussion, and there could be case studies which you could present, okay, at that point of time, which could be either based on your own ideas or based on some other ideas that you can gather from the literature, okay. So this will be the course. The course will not be taught in a classroom. Much of the course will be delivered to you. You can read it at your own pace, but there will be a next number of hours where you will be given a contact hour to kind of participate in discussions. Okay, that will be the structure of the course. Of course, there will be evaluation because it's a 2-credit course. So there will be an evaluation. Okay, yeah.
So now, moving on to the moment we all have been waiting for. Now is the time we acknowledge the hard work of all our participants and reward their outstanding pitches. Yes, the moment has finally arrived and it's time for us to announce the results. Before announcing the results, I request the juries and Dr. Chevron to please come on the stage. So, our second runner-up for the StEP competition is Hote Milkmaids. Moving on to our first runner-up. Our first runner-up is Team Karat Microtech. Congratulations, Team Karat Microtech. Now coming to the winner of today's event. India is a democratic country and its people's word above all, and the winner of tonight's competition is Team Hydrosome! Can we have a round of applause for all the 3 winning teams? Now I would like to announce the winners of AIC SEED StEP Fellowship. The first team is Team Egness. Next is Team Cure and Biotech. Our next winner is Team Cure and Biotech. rounds now are basically a tie. Judges had a very tough time in choosing between these. Can we please have a round of applause for Team Pure and Biotech? So the following 4 teams are Team Survar, Team Healers, Team Sunshinam and Team Game 1. I request all the participants from these teams to kindly come on the stage. Team Sunshinam. Can we please have a round of applause as the participants receive their medals? Team Survar. Team Game 1. And last but not the least, Team Healers. Congratulations to all the winners. We appreciate the participation of the following students who took part in the AIC SEED StEP competition. Starting with Mr. Aftab, could you please come on the stage? Mr. Krishna Shevare, Aniket Vartak, Akash, Vidyanshu Shekhar, Shivam Dosanjh. Can these people please come on the stage and collect their certificates? Can we have a round of applause for all our participating teams? I would now like to request Mr. Sandeep to give a vote of thanks.
I know most of you, almost all of you are tired and hungry both. So I won't stand here for a long time. First of all, let me start by thanking all the participants of today's event because they are the real heroes to make it a success. Big round of applause for all the participants. Next up, our sincere gratitude to all the jury members. Because at the time when we were enjoying fantastic speeches, energized, ambitious projects, and intensified Q&A session, parallelly a very hard and a dirty work was being done by the jury members. So we truly appreciate their valuable times and their efforts to really make it a success of today's event. Big round of applause for all the jury members. Next up, I would like to thank the technical support from Adya Creation, LHC staff members, Khandekarji and the team are still here. Science Media Center, Vivek Kannadiji and his team for capturing the memories and glimpses of today's event. Our special gratitude to all the volunteers of today's event, especially the luminaries, the student innovation leaders of AIC SEED and their friends who have helped us to smoothly conducting this event. I would also like to thank, with a special mention, the AIC team members, our teammates, Mr. Pratik Patil, Mrs. Kritika Srivastava, and Mr. Ashwin PK. A big round of applause for them. Their hard work and their preparation has actually made this event. Lastly, our sincere gratitude to Dr. Shivram because his vision, his guidance, and his support, you can see that he's more energized and enthusiastic about this event. So it's since long time it was his vision and guidance because of which today's event happened, and the great contribution to this to the success of this event goes to Dr. Shivram. So big round of applause and gratitude. AIC SEED is always here. If you have aspiring dreams and entrepreneurial dreams, please keep visiting us and please keep taking part in the activities of AIC SEED. We thank you all. Love you. Take care.